Hello and welcome to The Discriminating Gamer, the board game review show whose name appears in the front matter reviews for Target Tokyo by James Scott. It's a great book. Check it out. Buy it. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to go ahead and talk to you about the Tower of London from WizKids. In the Tower of London from WizKids, 3 to 5 players attempt to claim the most ravens from the Tower of London, hence the name. Ladies and gentlemen, there's an old legend that states that if ever less than 7 ravens occupy the Tower of London, then the British Empire will see its final day. In fact, as I recall, during World War II, Walter Schellenberg of the SD had a plan to actually introduce poison to these ravens in order to demoralize the British into thinking that the Nazis would soon win the war. Now, the game board itself is a map of the Tower of London with all its various rooms and connecting corridors. You have an inner courtyard, a mid-level courtyard, and an outer courtyard that are different color-coded, and then you also have the tower divided up into 4 distinct quadrants. Now, how the game plays out in the series of 3 rounds is essentially the first round you're just concentrating on the inner courtyard, and then the second round the mid and the inner, and then the third all 3 of the courtyards are in play. Now, for the first round, each player receives a number of cards. They're going to select 2 of these cards and place them face down. Then on their turn, they're going to go ahead and play the cards, one and the other. Now, the cards are divided up into 2 different areas. The first area are stained glass windows. Now, in the first round, you can only choose from the orange or the inner courtyard. In subsequent rounds, you can choose from whatever particular courtyard has been activated. Now, what that allows you to do is essentially place one of your cubes, one of your peeps, there in that specific room that it tells you. So if it's an orange 12, you find the orange 12 on the board, that room, and that is where you place your cube. Now, your second card that you play is actually, you don't use the stained glass windows that tell you where to place the cubes. Rather, what you do is you play the action, and whatever the action is going to be something very specific and very kind of dirty trick, kind of a dirty trick. You're going to maybe move cubes around. You're maybe going to fortify a cube so it can't be moved. You're going to get rid of cubes. You're going to do all sorts of fun and interesting things with the cubes with that second card's event. So you're going to go around adding more and more of these cubes, play through all of your cards. Once all the cards have been played through, you end the round. Then you go ahead and you look and you see exactly how people have scored. You check the scoring card when you pick a different scoring card for every round and a different event for every round, a different general event for every round. Once you check the scoring card, you see how many ravens you get for that round. Now, also, too, after you play that second card, you will look at the orange stained glass window to determine where you place your figure on the turn track, and that's going to determine turn order for the subsequent card playing. Now, you play this out again twice more. Each subsequent round, you're going to get a new general event, and you're going to go ahead and expand to the middle courtyard and then to the outer courtyard and determine how many ravens you get. Now, again, the first player is going to get ravens, second player is going to get some ravens, third player may get some ravens depending on which round it is. If there's ties, you kind of have to break the ties, but essentially at the end of the game, at the end of the third round, whoever has at least 7 rounds, or indeed as soon as someone gets 7 ravens, the game is over and that person has won Tower of London. So the Tower of London is it's a fairly light game, and it's a fairly easy game to learn and to play, which are all good and positive things. It's fairly random because, you all have the cards, and you have the same cards, and you do choose what cards you're playing. So it's not random, I guess, from you making the decisions there. But it does feel kind of random when other stuff's just kind of happening to you. Perhaps random isn't the correct word. It feels random, but I don't know that it really technically is random. You've got a lot of choices where you want to place your cubes. Do you want to go where somebody isn't in the hopes they won't come for you? Or do you want to try to maximize a certain space so you can take it? Maybe there's some advantage to controlling a certain space from the general event card or for some other reasons that play out in the game. So there's a lot of different things going on here. A lot of different like I said, a lot of these just kind of out of the blue cards that are popping and playing all the time that kind of make a strategy only go so far. I had one of the people I played with, she said the game reminded her a lot of Flux because just as you're trying to develop something here, everything changes. Now, I have to say, I don't necessarily think for this game this is a bad thing because the game is not that long. I mean, this is a fairly at most half hour, 45 minutes. It's not a long game. If this were an hour and a half game, 2 hour game, then it wouldn't work. But here it works, and it works very well. And I had fun with it. I think this is a good game. I think it's a solid game. It's not a game I think is for everybody. I think that will be a little off-putting. The fact that you're trying to craft strategies and then just boom, out of the blue, things change. So I don't know everybody's going to jump on this. I liked it. I had fun with it. I think if you do like light games that have a little bit of chance and luck in there, and you like some of that kind of random kooky things that happen, and I do generally enjoy that. I enjoy event cards in games, which change things up. I like that generally. For what this game gives you, I think it's a good opener. I think it's a fun, light, easy to learn, easy to teach game. So I'm going to go ahead. Because I don't think it's for everybody, I'm going to say try it before you buy it. But it's a very positive try it before you buy it. And I think you might enjoy it if you do. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. We are The Discriminating Gamer, and now here's a picture of me with a Beefeater. Please somebody help me on my feet again, and I don't know where I'm